Welcome into Sit Still, Look Pretty. It's the month of June.
Happy birthday! When you're listening to this episode, just know that the following wish goes out to you. Even though I'm far away, miles away, just know that on June 6th, make sure you all have wished Priya happy birthday already by the time this episode hits out. If you're going to wish her after that, she will probably know that, you all confirm listen to this episode, that's why you all going to wish her. So don't make that deadly mistake in your life, yeah?
Be ready for my present once you're back.
Of course, we are having a celebration. But it's nice. At least, it makes sense to celebrate your birthday once I'm back because it's a 1 month difference. Versus mine is just gone. It's just gone for good. Now I have to wait for 2024.
This could be the year that we celebrate our birthdays together.
People will be like, what on earth? Are they serious? Yes, we are serious, guys.
Yeah, we are. Because it's like tradition now. You just can't back out of it just because,
Which is what I'm very worried about because it has been tradition for since our friendship started. To be very honest with you, I don't know how I'm going to cope on the eve of my birthday because so far in my life since Priya entered, right, the eve of my birthday has been a blast, and hopefully the eve of your birthday has been a blast too.
Yeah, of course it has.
So we will embrace the emptiness in our lives,
So
but then
we
again,
find each other again.
feel free to send things to Germany. Thanks.
Feel free to send things to Singapore. Okay, now back to the topic of today's episode. That's the reason why we are doing. Okay. Anyway, so today's topic is none other than real versus real.
That's right. So when we say real, it's almost what people view about you and what you choose to put out on the internet, or it could even be when you're meeting somebody in your life, the kind of things you want them to know. And versus the real you. This topic is very exciting for me because you're currently meeting two different personalities.
That's true.
As your host on Sit Still Look Pretty, I guess you guys would have noticed this, whereby you would see Priya, harness the social media life these days, and that's particularly because of Sit Still Look Pretty. She's in a position whereby she is forced by her creative head to always post and pump content out, which I have to compliment you and say you're doing a wonderful job so far.
Very much.
You are truly harnessing the big shift in your life whereby you're putting out content online because that's not where Priya thrives, which I'll let her talk about it later. Versus for me, people who have known me for a very long period of time, they always know, I've also mentioned this in Still Look Pretty before, that when it comes to me, everything about me, myself and I is always shared on social media. I don't think there are things that I don't talk about on social media.
Yeah, I can vouch for that, truly. It's all out there for people to see.
But there comes the tricky thing, right? Because there's the question about our today's topic. So which is the Priyanka that posts stuff for the real purpose of people to see it, and which is the part of Priyanka that posts stuff on the internet because it's something that is so real? So, are we ready to talk about that?
Yeah, I think we're going to have two very opposing stories here on Sit Still Look. Usually me and Priyanka are, always on the same page, but this might be a different take.
But okay, now moving on to the topic. I guess when Instagram started itself, let's go with Instagram, okay? Because I feel like, of course, some of the most popular apps that are being used these days, Facebook has deeply plunged from the time that it started.
Exactly.
Now everything and anything is always Instagram and TikTok. And we are on TikTok, so it still look pretty on TikTok. But moving on, I really do feel a shift in content creation itself. There are also people who are not content creators, but we enjoy posting or sharing things on the online space, right? So before I came inside the content creation, things about Priyanka, like my sharing what goes on my life, was always out on a very Priyanka kind of a platform. Basically, when I first started to share my life on the online space, it started with blogs.
That is such a Priyanka thing.
Yeah, so that's how I first started. Like my life always goes out on blogs, WordPress. Like these were things that I always harnessed from primary school all the way to like secondary school, even to up till poly, right? Like what goes on in my life, I would share it the most on these platforms because of course I love writing. So the best way to share what's going on in your life is through these platforms. But how now comes the question, how much of it was it for the real, for people to see and go like wow, versus how much of it was real? This is a bit spicy to share, but what?
It's all about spilling the tea here, Priyanka.
What was the real kind of content that I really started to post? I have to admit and say that it started from my poly onwards. It was a lot of real content that was going out, what was truly happening in my life. But I'm not going to say what was happening in primary school and secondary school wasn't the real part, but it was more of like, oh, so like these are the things that I got for Christmas, and like these are the kind of like friends drama I had, you know. It was
That's so cute.
that kind of content.
Is it still out there for us to read, Priyanka?
No, strictly, you know, when I started, that's a good one, by the way. I went in to make sure I deleted all this.
You deleted?
Yeah, I did. You see, we are harnessing this topic for a real reason, because I do realize, of course, and I really feel like now as people who are in the content creation line and who are facing the public directly, I'm not ashamed to say this, but I did go and like delete like stuff, even on my Instagram, on my Facebook, because at the end of the day, young, childish and stupid things happen. I think we all do it. I'm sharing this with the mindset that we all post such stuff without much thought into it.
Tell me about it.
I can't wait to listen to what kind of nonsense maybe you would have posted back then. Who knows? Yeah, but I think that was for me. But right now, I think I'm very, very particular about the content that goes out on my social media page. I'm not trying to say that I monitor and evaluate what's going out, but I think it's more of like, I really want people to know the work aspect of me and the play aspect of me. I really want people to know that there's two sides to Priyanka, and I want both sides to go out on my social media pages or to go out online with a level of authenticity. Like, I don't want to fake like a post. Even if at the end of the day, a particular content that I'm posting is not going to garner likes, like, I've really come a long way. These days, I'm like, screw it. Like, this is something that I believe in. I want people to see it. I want people to know about. And it also started to hit me how much of what I post also affects the people around. Of course, when you start sharing a lot about your life online, I also feel like people start writing to you. People that you know, people that you don't know also start commenting on your posts and everything. And I have to say, every time when someone puts like, oh my God, this is so inspiring, or like, what you do like help me, or like you inspire me to go and do these things, like these are the kind of moments in my life so far. I feel like I have the moment of like, you better make sure what you're posting is from your heart. If not, don't post it, don't put out. And truly, this is something that I really want to continue on the online space. Of course, hate comments, negative stuff, difficult kind of opinions. I think me and you, we have also heard this before. Lately, Priya and I were having a chat about how when we used to do, when we were on Radio Heatwave and we used to speak in Tamil, I'm not going to name who was it, okay? But basically, this person was from a higher authority. This person was from an organization that we were both very well aware about. We just don't know about this person's existence. But this person wrote to me on Instagram saying, hey girls, like we understand that you guys are doing this particular show, but please watch for your pronunciation, because y'all are like interviewing people and it really comes off very strongly online. When I saw it, I was very taken aback, because of course there was that joy moment of, oh my God, like
somebody noticed us.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. But the moment I also read the comment and I showed Priya, I was also like, you know, we are people who always put ourselves in other people's shoe, I guess. And I always think about how I would never do this to someone else. So, but if anything at all that that DM taught us was, when you put out content online, there's always going to be the good comments and the bad comments that comes with it. So you deal with that salt, a little bit. But that is for me. I truly enjoy posting my authentic self online. I harness it to the best of my ability because I feel that the social media space online should be something that is very conducive and inclusive, and as much as possible, we should inspire ourselves.
I just want to take a moment to just have a Priyanka fangirl moment is what I was going to say. Because I mean, I don't think Priyanka has ever really done a post or none that I'm aware of where it felt like it was for the views or it was untrue. I think when we say real versus real, I think there's that moment of, showcasing only the good, right? And I feel like this is a talent specifically that Priyanka has to make any type of content like somehow palatable for Instagram, because there is a certain way that content is being put out also, I think, speaks and also influences your following on whether they want to see it or not. There's in and outs of that, and I feel like you have figured the in and outs, and you do it in such a manner where I feel like even if you're talking about the good days or the bad days, I just feel like I don't ever feel overwhelmed by Priyanka's content. Like if you want to watch some good content, I feel like totally go and follow Priyanka.
Thank you. Now she's really making it's Priyanka self-plucking, but I also want to say answers still look pretty. We are on TikTok page, very authentic content.
All right, we've done all the plugging that we need to do.
Now that you all know that I enjoy posting like authentic content online, please meet my other half, also known as my soulmate, who deeply at every point of her life avoids posting on social media. Why do you not say enjoy posting or sharing snippets of your life online?
If I need to put it in a one sentence, is that as much as this might seem a bit contradicting to my personality as somebody who's, loud and chirpy and whatever, but I'm just not... I've never been a person who is at the center of attention. I don't like being the person. And for some reason, I think I've always associated social media as being the center of attention because of, the amount of people who get to view whatever you post. But the reality of the situation is I've never always been like this. I think, talking about stupid childhood moments, I've had my fair share of having my way with Facebook and posting stupid content. I mean stupid as in like genuinely like pure like childlike content about fangirling over One Direction and going to the zoo with my best friend. But even then, I was never like an avid poster. It wasn't something that I did consistently, but it was something that I did, substantially. I did use social media. I don't want this to come off as a wrong way by saying I prefer to like live in the moment, or I don't, because I don't think that's what it means to have an online personality versus not. It's nothing to do with whether you're living in the moment or not. And I feel like a lot of people contradict these two terms. I never found a voice in me telling me to let's snap a picture and post about it. And I think this also goes hand in hand with my love-hate relationship with writing. Just I hate putting down my emotion into words on paper, on my phone, whatever it was. Never kept a diary. Wasn't a journal person at all.
You see, this is why I mean contrasting personalities.
So even in a journaling perspective, social media never really applied to me because, it wasn't just something that I did. I feel like during Iname Espresso was the time where I started posting without anybody telling me to post as well. Like if it's just us hanging out and Conti and having fun with the music that we are playing, that's when it started to make sense to me a little bit more about what actually social media is and what it can potentially be for some people. But I think the struggle with me and social media is that the amount of eyes still freaks me out. And I think it's because it's just a form of sharing that I'm not well versed in per se. And it's not a form that I connect with immediately. Like this is a form that I can connect with. If we had the means and the facilities to be doing this weekly, I would so go for it, Whereas I feel like Instagram or Facebook, it's a form, it's a medium that doesn't have that same connection.
But I have to say, I also can notice that difference in you. Like, to be really honest, I feel like when you sit here, a lot of times the things that you share about or the perspective that you bring about, I can also very honestly see that it almost feels like Sit Still Look Pretty. Or even when we were doing Ilame Espresso, it becomes like your Dear Diary moment.
Yeah.
Versus like for me, my Dear Diary moment is truly on social media. Like, I really enjoy, because to me, I see it as a memory that every single day I can post and I can connect, and the 365 days of a year can be reached through just a tap of my finger. And I like that.
You see, that's what I think. I feel like we all have this certain way of is storaging the right word? Storaging moments that we want to keep forever. And I feel like social media, one aspect of social media is being able to do that by posting and keeping it on your archives and your saved and whatsoever, right? And for me, I love storaging moments as well, which I know all of you are sitting down there like, Priya, you don't post anything. What are you exactly storaging? But the thing is, and I don't know if you noticed, but I will always take photos. If a certain moment speaks to me, I'll take photos, I'll take videos, I'll take long 5-6 minute videos. Yeah. But it's just that it's all for me, and only for my eyes.
It actually drives us to the closing of this, which is what we are both trying to say. It doesn't matter whether or not you're posting it online as a real moment of yourself, or whether it's a real life moment that you're experiencing. For example, people like Priya who like to keep this as an intimate moment with yourself. I think what this entire topic we are trying to say is, no matter which platform you harness, always be authentic with your own self. Okay, now we have talked so much about being real and going back and forth. But I feel what is really cool is, let's talk to our guest speaker of the month. What's the real versus real part of their job?
And for today's episode, we have a very special guest with us, and it's none other than Mr. Yuga J Vardhan. Welcome to Sit Still Look Pretty. But before that, let me give you a short biography of who Mr. Yuga is. He is a scholar and cinephile. Yuga J Vardhan has received numerous awards for his academic recognition, as well as had his films travel around the world, creating fine grounds for future endeavors. A stint in Mumbai associating with an acclaimed filmmaker further deepened his interest in cinema, leading him to produce and direct Children of Tomorrow, a documentary that spoke about the plight of old folks imprisoned against their will in a home looked after by cynical caretakers. His gift of gab introduced him to producing, creating an opportunity of experiences working in commercials, corporate videos, and documentaries. His directorial venture, When Mirrors Had Meaning, won the Singapore Mental Health Film Festival's short film competition. The film is also an official selection at the 20th Kansas International Film Festival, the 28th Rendezvous with Madness Film Festival, and the 16th New York City Mental Health Film Festival 2020. His recent directorial work, The Sea Between Us, also won the Open Youth category as the best screenplay in the National Youth Film Festival in 2022. Yuga J Vardhan continues to strive at creating meaningful content steeped in nostalgia and cultural backdrop. Welcome to Sit Still Look Pretty, Mr. Yuga.
Hi. I'm sitting still and looking handsome.
That's right. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm
Alright.
feeling wonderful. Thank you very much.
Did that speech give you a moment to look at yourself and go, yeah?
And my hand's standing.
We want to do a little travel back in time because we do know that Yuga is also known as a scholar. There are academic achievements that you are proud of. Share with us what is the secret to your success behind this academic win.
Basically, I got myself a scholarship. I received a scholarship towards my last year of my film school. I was doing my degree in film school. So that, I received a scholarship, number one, which I'm very grateful of. Number two, I became the top in my cohort, in my faculty for filmmaking when I graduated. To be honest, film school, when I look back at it, till date, I feel those were the best times of my life. I am in my mid-30s right now. And if someone was to ask me, hey, can you tell us what are some of the best times of your life? What was the best years of your life? And I'll say that film school was the best time of my life. Myself and my cohort of friends who were studying with me, we were very, very, very serious and very, very enthusiastic and passionate about it. We enjoyed coming to school every single day, such that even if I didn't have a module on that day, I'll still be in university. I'll still be with my friends. It was a very beautiful, pleasurable experience. I was studying overseas, so studying in KL, watching all kinds of films, meeting with industrial people. A lot of our lecturers used to be in the Malaysian industry, film industry. So just hanging out with them and just being part of that atmosphere was the best time. I really had so much of fun. See, I was not the best student when I was in primary school. I was not the best student when I was in secondary school. I was a very language, English, Tamil, my maths.
Why
We are all
is this
in the same
almost
boat.
like a trend for everybody in media?
I failed.
Maths and science.
And I failed, and I failed, and I failed. Every single paper, I failed. So when I collected my, very interesting story was when I went to go and collect my O-level results, right? So I went up to my teacher, so my form teacher, and then she was about to pass me the results. I said, wait, maths, pass or fail? Later we talk. And she was like, oh, okay, you got a C6. The rest of the subjects, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
knew.
The rest I can manage. Okay, we got it lah. I did fairly well to go into a JC or a poly kind of a thing. So the C6 in maths was a great achievement for me at that point of time. So I was not a fantastic primary school kid. I was not a very academically fantastic in secondary school as well. My languages was good, and apart from that, no. When I went to poly, I consider this the first big mistake in life. I actually enrolled myself in a film school, but I didn't take it up. I did another course in another polytechnic, which was something that I wouldn't imagine myself doing right now. I took up IT. I didn't take up filmmaking because, that time you were young, right out of O-levels and all that. So you got a lot of voices telling you that film, all these kind of stuff, arts, maybe it's not the kind of thing that can get you a job sort of a thing. So maybe, so all these voices, right, you start thinking and then you make a decision. Yeah, okay, maybe I should. So I did take that conventional route. Like after your diploma, you gotta get your degree, kind of stuff like that. So I taught myself that if I'm gonna pursue my further studies, I'm not gonna do this again. I'm gonna just do what I like to do. Yeah. So in order to see whether, how did I know whether this was what I still wanted to do was, when you're applying for courses, right? I just thought I should do something that helped me with communication. I'm good at talking, and so let's see if there's anything like that. So there's mass comm, communication. So I was looking, every university brochure will have all the modules, right? The thing that still attracted me, that still sort of like this seems like it, okay, you got journalism, okay. That's like script writing, why? It's nothing magical. I would not be able to give you an answer. Oh, it's a day that I woke up and I watched so many films. I want to be like Kubrick. I want to be like no, I can't. I'm not going to give you all that. It's just that when I saw the modules, I had a attraction towards this particular list of stuff, which is all filmmaking. Cinema studies was like, yeah. Something about it, I do not know why. Which is why I decided that I should pursue my further studies in film. And when I got a chance to be able to do that, I made the best out of whatever I could. At the end of the day, it's not about that when I talk to a lot of like my younger nieces or even like youths out there, I tell them that you don't bother about what you're gonna do in your work, what job you're gonna take. No, don't bother about that. And that 3 years or 2 years or 6 years or whatever it is that you're gonna study, make sure that you study what you really, really want to study. Yeah. don't bother whether you're going to work in that particular field. That's later. A lot of people actually studied something and then worked accordingly. Like I studied engineering and I became an engineer. Not everyone. A lot of people find something, a different calling. But that 3 years or 2 years, just if you think that you enjoy cooking and culinary, study that. If you think that you enjoy sports, study that. If you think that you enjoy cinema, study that. Do not bother about the job future. This is just my personal opinion. Just study what you really enjoy. And when you really enjoy it, you will really do well in it.
Now, moving on to your films, your award-winning films, we have to ask this question. What was it exactly that inspired you to send your films for film festivals? Because at the end of the day, you have to believe as a filmmaker that your work is good to also send it for a film festival or for it to be picked up also, right? So where did the inspiration even come from?
I wouldn't say it's an inspiration or anything. It's just like the thing to do. I would call it the thing to do, at least from my end. So you go to film school or you just love cinema and you watch a lot of films, right? So a lot of films are actually... So every time you watch an award-winning film, you'll see that laurel out there. Selected at Cannes or selected at Sundance or selected at, for example, Tokyo International Film Festival, something like that. So from that period of time when you're in school already, you're introduced to this world, this whole thing called, this event, this range of events called film festivals, where a film is really grandly celebrated, a filmmaker is grandly celebrated, a lot of networking happens. So it's this huge, like a huge podium of filmmakers and everything related to that. So I've always been introduced to that from the beginning, known that. So naturally, when you make a film, like a short film or whatever it is, independently or whatnot, the first thing to do is, let's send it to film festivals. And it's like a gamble because there are so many.
Yeah.
So, of course, then you have to see which film festival is suited for your film. If you made a horror film, then there are a lot of horror-based film festivals. If you made a sci-fi, there are a lot of sci-fi-based film festivals. Then you see which works. And now there are so many. It's becoming it's like maybe about 100, 200 all over the world.
Yeah.
Then you see which are the ones that are appropriate. Then you send. And to be honest, if you get selected, it's really already a big thing to get selected, because there are three, like for a A or a B list film festival for that matter, there are over 3,000 films being sent, and they can only select up maybe 100 within whatever limitations that they have. So to get that, and it's not that the other films that didn't get selected were bad films; they're all good films, and just that, this is how they have to work, and then these few films get selected. So it's like lucky, it just came out right. So for example, like my recent film, The Sea Between Us, the first film festival, and it took time. Like after we completed the film somewhere last year, November or so, but it took so long until I received an email from the New York Asian Film Festival. It's quite a very acclaimed film festival, celebrating Asian films over the world and being celebrated in New York City. I mean, oh yeah. Now this feels good. I just woke my wife up. Hey, listen.
Poor wife.
This happened. Then I sent an email to my producer, to my DOP, my friend. It's like, hey. Or people who are very, very good well-wishers to me, who've inspired me and supported me. It feels it's just a process. It's not even like to be inspired or what. It's just a process that I followed where you make a film. So what are the platforms? Where do you want your film to be distributed or shown? So naturally, right, you make a product, where is it going to be displayed?
Recently, I've been noting this trend whereby people are releasing, be it music videos or short films, young aspiring directors and producers. They are releasing it on YouTube, these short films. What is your take on that?
To be honest, there's no right or wrong answer. If I make a film, this is the process that I believe in following. It goes through this process, goes through film festivals, then I find how am I going to publish it for public or whatnot. Another person could feel that that person wants to submit their film, make a film and put it out on YouTube for a whole mass audience. And I believe YouTube means like number of viewerships and stuff like that. The reach, it might be higher, bigger. There are people who have made films and put it out there, or video content and put it out there. It's reached like really millions or so many people, and their career or their their path to success has come out of that as well. So to be honest, there's no right or wrong. It's what someone chooses to do. What's most important is, are they convicted? That they must be very convicted of what the path that they choose to follow, the process that they choose to follow. If they feel that no, this film of mine, YouTube is the answer, I'm going to put it out there, it will reach. They must be very convicted and very confident about that. But my personal opinion would be, if someone has a wonderful short film made, it's not a bad idea to submit to film festivals. Again, but there are 100 over film festivals. Choose the right ones. Choose the ones to send to, and not just any film festival out there, because you can get selected, you can win an award, but how viable, how credible is that recognition is another question. So choose the right ones and send. What it does is, it's not just about the recognition. It's not just about the excitement that, hey, my film has been selected here. My film is going to be screened here. It's in competition. Beyond that, it adds on to your portfolio, which is great. It adds on to your portfolio. It allows you to build further confidence to make more content. It gets people to know you, as well as for you to know many people. For example, National Youth Film Awards recently, when my film won. So when we went there, it was a wonderful experience, because it was not just about the award ceremony, which was done very well and whatnot, and how they celebrated every individual creative there. It was about after that, you get to meet a few people, other filmmakers or producers, and you shake hands with them. It's wonderful to be in that circle. This is the circle that you are passionate about, right? I mean, this is the thing that you are passionate about. You're meeting like-minded individuals that you never know what kind of collaborations might come about. Coffee after that, or something like that. And you just never know. And it's wonderful, isn't it? To be in a place which celebrates cinema or whatever you are passionate about.
How do you think that your experience and knowledge garnered from, sending your films to film festival has shaped you as a director/producer?
Somewhere in 2018, the Singapore Mental Health Film Festival opened up a thing, sort of like a competition. Let's give this a shot. Maybe let's see if I still have it with me, and let's give it a shot. I mean, what's there to lose? I collaborated with a wonderful writer and friend, Vale, and I collaborated with my very, very good friend, best friend, Saresh Nambiar. He's a DOP, cinematographer. He was in France at that time, doing his masters and working on a lot of projects over there. So we collaborated together, and we pulled in favors. Wonderful people came forward to support and help us, from camera crew, equipments. I still find that film was a miracle, because everything came. They were all favors, and they came. And then you feel very blessed that, this is wonderful. And then we made that film, and so I was like, okay, let's see if we win. And we won.
There's a lot of money that goes into a film, a lot of finances. Sometimes as content creators, I feel like as creatives, we start taking money out of our own pocket. I want to ask you, how do you stay sane during those times?
When Mira said meaning, I had a bit of savings. Like I mentioned, to be honest, the film would have cost about $10,000. But I spent 10 to 20% of that, because the rest of them were blessings.
Nice.
Purely, until date. Everyone who came forward to, whether they were my close friends or strangers, most of them were strangers, from the talents to the crew to post-production, everything. They were all strangers who came forward to help. The one thing they believed, they said that the reason why they are coming is because they like the story. The best way that I actually could repay them was when I get to know of other jobs.
Right.
Then someone's looking for a sound person, someone looking for a camera assistant or a DOP or something, or an actress or something like that. I try to refer. And if they do get the job, then I feel that, okay, that's the best way I can repay you at this point of time, man. I find you something to my best of efforts. That was a blessing. That's why I found that film a miracle. The second film, it was also the same thing. So I can't go back to them and ask
Life
for a favor.
as a filmmaker, it's tough.
Again,
it's tough out there.
you knock on doors. Hey, man, I'm making a short film, self-funded. I did a couple of projects, and then we had some good money from that, and then we thought we could set aside a certain amount of money for a film, if a film was to be made. So when then the idea was conceived, and then it turned out to be a script. Shall we do it? This was made during the Sea Between Us, made during that last year, that period of time where it's like sort of like second wave, and we all didn't have jobs for a couple of months or so. like to stay creative. This is the time to make a film. You can't be making a film when you're working at the same time. It's not very easy. People do it. It's not easy. So I thought, okay, I have 2-3 months of free time. Why not make this film? So I did ask the both producers, do you think it's possible? If it's not possible, we don't talk. So at the end of the day, I'm not willing to compromise, because even if people are pulling in favors, I need to at least, the final product, they should, okay lah, it was worth it. Not like put in favors and then you do, okay, then like, alamak, okay, they should also be proud of that. That, we supported a film and the film did well. They should be proud of that. So couldn't compromise. So I was like, is it possible? Is it practical to make it? Yeah, it's practical to make it. It's possible. So then again, I knock on doors. We whoever could come in to support. And the same thing they said again, the story. We came again for the story. Then I was like, okay, thank you very much for that. A blessing. The film happened. Again, it would have cost maybe 10,000-15,000. But through the support of so many people, it was made possible.
I'm curious, the comment that you said, a lot of people who came on board really loved the story that was being taken. Is that something that you show importance to?
I don't know whether I choose intentionally to take stories that speak to people, but the stories that I work on, it's basically, I'm not a creative person. I would not say that I'm a guy, okay, sit down, let's think of a story. Then I feel like, okay, how do I think of story, man? What happens? Think of a love story. What do I do? I can't just pop out. Then I start recalling conversations, recalling memories, someone that I've heard of. So it's whatever I hear and all that. Then I think, hey, The Sea Between Us, for example, it was the simple reason why I wanted to make that film at that point of time, because I just thought that, hey, so many films about Mexican border, US border and things like that. Why are we not showing the JB Singapore border? Because, during COVID, right, then the news and all that came about, like 250, 300,000 people actually. So I was like, damn, shit.
Yeah.
I've experienced that. I know what is it like. And so after months, from nowhere, the idea was conceived. You share it with a few people. What do you think? And then they give you certain feedback or what. And then you handle that and then figure it out, make a film. So, yeah. So, fundamentally, like, you make what you like.
Yeah.
It's a subconscious kind of a thing,
Talking about making relatable films, I have to ask, as a brown-skinned filmmaker, how do you make a conscious effort to incorporate cultural backdrop in your film?
I mean, you see, I'm from Singapore.
Yeah.
Making a Singaporean film. Singapore represents so many cultures, so many colors, so many it's completely a diverse place we are coming from. So the film, a Singaporean film, according to me, should represent that. I don't feel that I should make a conscious effort. A filmmaker that I look up to a lot. She was a late filmmaker. Her name is Yasmin Ahmad from Malaysia. To be honest, when I first watched her film, it was screened during film school, during a lesson. And it was like this film called Sepit. It's a Malaysian film. It won awards and stuff like that. It was by her. At the time, I was young. You don't know who's this filmmaker. And when you watch that film and then you saw, and I was like, first thing that came to my mind was, that's a wonderful representation of Malaysia in film. After watching that film was when I thought, can make a film. In our region, it's possible. I developed the confidence. That was the first time. Because that film is out there. What you see is not a Tamil film or a Chinese film or a Malay film. What you see is a Malaysian film. So I've been asked this question many times. What made you want to have Chinese or Indian family thing or language thing? There's Mandarin spoken in your film, there's Tamil spoken in your film. What made you? I'm like, the day that we stop asking this question, we have achieved complete racial harmony. If you watch a film and you see that there are multiple races and multiple languages spoken, it's after all Singaporean languages only, I mean. And then you're like, wow, this film, the day you stop, wow, we have achieved it in 100%. But if we're still intrigued by that, hey, where you living, man? What age are you living in, It's, how can you?
I think we dig so much into your journey and how you have successfully established yourself today as an award-winning filmmaker. I think this is a dream for a lot of aspiring people who are coming into this arena. Is there like a strong piece of advice you hoped that you had known earlier, and now this is something you can impart here to those who are coming in?
Like, say you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be a director, producer. If you can't sit at home on a free day, on a day, like routinely, very ritualistically, watch 2 or 3 films a day, or in a month. Whenever you get a chance, you can watch that many films very, very ritualistically. Like, I'm going to get up today. I don't have anything going on. I'm going to get up. I'm going to have my breakfast. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch this film. Afternoon, have my lunch. After this, you know what? I still have nothing else to do. I'm going to watch another film. If you are not able to watch like 20, 30 films, then please go to film school. Because in film school, you will be forced to watch that many films. Some people think going to film school is about learning filmmaking, camera, technical stuff, directing. It's also a place where you study films and you associate with like-minded individuals from different walks of life coming in. Someone might be very interested in TVCs and commercials and stuff like that. It's a different ball game of filmmaking. Someone might be interested in cinema. Someone might be interested in documentary. Someone may be good as a writer. You associate with people of different walks coming in, and you get to meet lecturers, professors. You get to attend a lot of workshops or talks or something like that. And you get to watch so many films. So you don't get to just choose what film. That's another thing. You don't choose what you want to watch. Like, you want to go to Netflix today. I'm going to watch this film today because it's the best film out there right now, and everyone is talking about it. So let's watch it. You just go up to class, you sit down and they screen a film. It could be a 1920s documentary, black and white. You've got no choice. You've got to write a thesis about that later. You've got to write something about that later. It forces you. It gives you a space to develop yourself forcefully, not in a bad way, in a good way, forcefully. It's something that I feel that is important because a lot of people, they want to be in the creative industry. They want to be writers and all that. I asked a guy who wants to be a writer. I asked him, I met a guy. He said, I want to be a writer, bro. Okay, very good. What have you read? How many books have you read? I mean, man, you want to be a writer? You should be reading. I don't read as much as you probably, You want to be a filmmaker, so what have you watched recently? And then he mentions a couple of mainstream films or films that everyone is just talking about. I think it's not good enough, bro. You have to be able to explore and I still feel up to date that I feel like a bodo. Hey, I don't know about this film. How? I need to go and watch the film, When I heard about it, when someone discusses about a film that I know, I know about this film. When someone mentions about this film, it's like, shit, I take my phone quietly. I take note of the film and go and watch the film. Right. Because I still feel that there's so many films out there. How do I not know? So if you're not going to do that, then get yourself into a school. Another way of looking at it is very simple. Because in the school, they'll teach you all these things. And some people expect you won't be spoon-fed, but it gives you the space to learn and explore. You discover yourself, your creative self in that space. You need a space, right? Sometimes the home might not be. Sometimes a studio might not be, or whatever it is. You need a space. So that film school will give you that space. So that is why I encourage and I tell, if you want to, please go take a course. A lot of institutes right now, Singapore Media Academy, so many places, take up a course. You really want to be this, take up a course and go, be in that environment. It's not about the certificate, it's about being in that environment, being in that space.
I couldn't agree more with this because lately, I personally, this is my personal opinion, I do feel that the value of just basically being in the media industry these days feels a lot more undermined lately. It almost feels like anybody and everybody can walk in and make something out of this space. But it's always nice to connect with people and know that there is, I think what I always try to also put out is there is a difference when you study for it, not because, like what they say, it's not because of the certificate that you get at the end of the day. It's that environment, that space for creation and authentically what goes out after that, who you become as a person also changes. So I couldn't agree more. I think this episode will definitely speak to, I think, aspiring filmmakers a lot. So thank you so much for coming
I hope
down.
so. Thank you for the opportunity.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And alas, it's the part that I hate, which is the closing segment. It's such a bittersweet moment because I'm always excited for the quotes that Priyanka picks out because just to let you guys know, for this 6-month special that has been pre-recorded, I have not heard any of the quotes beforehand. It's all coming to me in the moment. So to be honest, I feel like we should continue this tradition, Priyanka, because I actually have a really good time, sort of being like an audience member in that moment, just listening to it for the first time. But the twist comes when she goes, share your thoughts now, Priya.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was just feeling it. But yeah, so talking about quote of the month, Take it away.
So here's the quote from Ashley. Ashley is bringing us this quote today. I dare you to take off the mask of perfection and show up as you are. Feel the freedom, the relief, the lightness. Because when we are real, that's when we actually heal. And those around us just might heal too.
Wow. Oh my God, that was so beautiful and so true.
Ashley be nailing it. I love it too.
Yeah, it's so wow. I mean, again, this is why I get so dumbstruck when I have to share my opinion, because I feel like it's so self-explanatory. Like, from, even though, you know, it sounds like a beautiful poem, it's so honest and truthful in what it's trying to say, which is just be yourself, because that's never gonna lead you down a wrong road. Just being yourself in the moment is so much better than being anybody else, right?
And I feel like when I read this quote, right, like one thing I really want to say here is the fact that I'm so proud of Sit Still Look Pretty when I read this quote, because I feel that's what we really try to do at Sit Still Look Pretty.
Right.
Not that we are tooting our own horns, by the way, but I really feel like every single episode from the time we started, I do see that growth, you know, with every episode that goes out. I see about the things we talk about, the things that we share about. I mean, downright honest, guys, it's hard. Like, I do know whether or not when Priya is sharing something or I'm sharing something, the thing is, we are putting out as much as we can to you guys, but there is the part of us whereby there's, of course, you know, content is compressed to that 45 minutes or 1 hour that the episode goes up. But there's so much more to it. There's so much more like behind it. But to even take that step and say, no, I want to put this out, because like what we try to do here is hopefully someone who's going through that stuff or someone who have been through that thing knows that they are not alone, or like this is not an issue. And I have to point out that every time we get those messages saying that, oh my God, like especially for the Adulting Mayhem episode number 6, like, you know, there were messages saying that, oh my God, like it's so nice to know that I'm not alone. And like that's exactly what we are trying to do at Sit Still Look Pretty, is to tell you guys that you're not alone, because these are things that we are walking through, and I'm pretty sure your friends, your family, it's whether or not we create a room for discussion at this point. So that's all, and we will bring this episode to a wrap. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing Priya cry at the end of every episode.
I am actually joyful about closing this segment, to be very honest with you. You know why?
Why?
Because I know the next episode you're going to be here with me, back in SG.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, when I'm releasing this episode, if there's anything you should know far away from there, is that I would truly be the happiest to be coming back and we finally be recording live from technically not live lah, but of course all our episodes that goes out every month is
Will be
freshly recorded during the month.
Which is a way I'm so excited for. And you know, Priyanka is going to be coming with a whole lot of knowledge that I'm waiting to be, you know, be taught by you.
Sure.
All the new improvements that you should come with, you know,
All
for
right.
Sit Still Look Pretty.
After 7 months, you'll be like, okay, now a business meeting for Sit Still Look Pretty. But I mean, I just want to say at this point, the first 6 months since it was pre-recorded and everything, I have to say this, I think even though it was pre-recorded, I feel like we nailed every single episode with like, you know, you see, we don't even need people to say that we're good at this point. We are just like, we are good. Thanks. No, but jokes aside, I feel that we worked really hard for all 6 episodes for the first half of the year that went out, you guys. And I truly hope that you guys resonated or enjoyed or at least walked away with something. Anyway.
Yeah.
We will catch you guys soon from the studio together. I can bet your July content will be us screaming on the mic. So heads up, right? Lower your phone volume from July onwards.
True. All right. We will catch you next month with a new guest and a new cup of tea. It's been Priya
And Priyanka
on Sit Still Look Pretty, 'cause girl, you're more than a quick gaze.